Phone connected.
Hello everybody, it's Bob on top of Black Betty 2020 Electra Glide. Just getting out on a beautiful day, about 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Gonna head up around the lake, go down through a couple little curvy sections that about as curvy as I can find here in East Georgia. As soon as this stuff ends a little bit, I think I'm going to head up to the mountains in North Carolina and enjoy some of the mountain scenery. We've got friends up west to Asheville. And actually from their mother's home, you look down on the Biltmore estate. Just a wonderful area. They grow and raise everything they eat. We've asked them to come down and visit in Augusta, Georgia, and they just looked at us and said, why? Which is a pretty strong point. But it's, I hope everybody finds everybody well and healthy and able to get out and have some enjoyment. I sat back the other day and just thought about what a blessing it is to have a hobby and be able to afford a hobby like this where you can really get out and get your head straight. Enjoy what's out there. Good thing about a motorcycle, I mean, you can smell the smells, and good, bad, or ugly. But he's a pretty good Georgia driver, turning left from the middle lane. Maybe not turning at all. Trick's on me. HDR was talking the other day about microbreweries and everything, and we've got a number of them in Augusta, Georgia. As a matter of fact, a lot of the charity rides, breast cancer, and so on and so forth end up there. And you might have a beer or two and talk with some friends. I know one thing, it sure is nice to have everything green. It doesn't stay, winter doesn't stay too long here in Georgia. this route that I'm taking goes through a couple little small towns that are just neat. I don't think there's too much prospering in them, but it's close enough to the big city that they can make the trip. I'm starting to think maybe that's a worthwhile cause. They're social distancing at home until they get to their neighbors, which sometimes is a pretty good trip. This road kind of tags along the Savannah River. There's a lot of places if you kayak that you're able to launch a kayak. It's pretty neat little day trips on with a kayak. This place called Betty's Branch that kind of is a tributary of the Savannah River. It's the first time, as a matter of fact, that I got my kayak. It was also the first time I tipped over. Pretty good training experience. Found out that maybe adjusting the seat out on the water is not the brightest thing I ever did in my life, but first thing you do in freshwater in Georgia is look for gators, snakes. Couldn't ride it in the water, so I drug it over to what they would call a shore, I guess, a little bit of mud. Able to get it up, get it out right, and finished a little 4-hour trip. Decided whatever the seat was, it was all right at that time. But just a lot of fun, a little enjoyment. You can get a 15-20 minutes away from a town on a kayak and just not know the town's there. That's the Savannah River right there. But a little bit about what got me on the Electra Glide here is, I don't know if I told the story before or not. I guess I'm old enough I can forget. Use that as an excuse to just tell it again. I started out a year ago April when my wife died. I bought a Honda 750 Shadow Phantom. Been off motorcycle for 18 years and just decided I was going to get back on it or get a camper or get a boat, and figured the boat was a hole in the water you pour money into. Camper I wouldn't be able to use all that much, and the motorcycle seemed like a pretty good option. So I got the Honda 750, and I just rode the dickens out of it. It was a 2015 model with only 2,000 miles on it. I decided that my bulk and my comfort level that it wasn't going to be the answer to my prayers, so I kept it for a good, long time, 3 weeks. One Saturday, out of pure boredom, I got on the Shadow and rode it over to the Harley dealerships, Tim Harley Davidson, which are just killer good people. And went in and sat on a couple motorcycles and really liked the Softail Slim. Good sized motor. It was a 2019, brand new. And I liked the nostalgic look and everything, and so I made the salesman work terribly hard. And as a matter of fact, I decided maybe the numbers weren't quite right, and went out and I was getting back on the Slim, or on the Shadow, and he came running out and said, "Listen, there's only so much I can do, but here's what we'll do." And the final answer was, "Let me go sit on it again." And I sat on it again. I said, "Let's just make this happen." So I bought the 2019 Softail Slim, and just, I won't say I rode the dickens out of it, but I had to get my first 1,000-mile service the month that I bought it, and just enjoyed it. It was lightweight enough you could throw it into corners and have a good time with it. Felt comfortable with it. Shoot, I drove it down to Panama City, Florida, and Tybee Island, Georgia, and bought some luggage for it, put a windshield on it, and decided I was going to buy some bags for it. And went into the Harley dealership about 3 months after I got it. And I was getting some stuff to clean it up, and I could find a good reason to go to a Harley dealership and try and get rid of my kid's inheritance. But I had watched the Electra Glides on YouTube, and boy, it looked like a nice bike. And I'm sitting back thinking, why should I buy bags for the Softail and not have a touring frame and everything? I'm sure I could enjoy it. But just thought process, kept kicking in and whatever. So I went into Harley and bought some spray cleaner, and I was going to detail it out. And my salesman that ended up being a customer of mine came over and just to say hi, and we were talking a little bit, and he asked if I had any trips planned, and I said, well, I always have them planned. I don't know if I'll accomplish it or not, but I always got it planned. And we started talking. I said, I was going to buy some bags. He said, yeah, that's great. I said, but I've been looking at this Electra Glide. I said, that's a pretty fine looking motorcycle. And he said, well, turn around. I turned around, and lo and behold, there one was sitting right staring me in the face. And young lady, Judy, that I'm just in a wonderful relationship with, be it long distance right now, but she told me don't buy anything new when I go in there, just look. So I took some pictures of it sitting on the showroom, and she said, oh no, and the next picture I took of it was with a sold sign on it. And I seem to have garnered a pretty good relationship with Tim's Harley Davidson. They love to see me come in there. But anyway, I surely have enjoyed this ride. It's comfortable. It's what I need. It doesn't have radio or anything, but I don't listen to the radio too much. If I do, I've got it on the cell phone, clip it right in. It's Bluetooth to my helmet, and I can jam out when I want to. I kind of just enjoy looking, listening, and feeling everything that's around me when I take a ride. So far, I haven't had to buy tires or any first services